Top of the day to you, and welcome to the Fresh Anointing Show with the all new Let's Figure It Out. Today, we want to talk about some of the life's challenges. I don't know about you, but for me, I go through so many challenges and have been through so many challenges in life. I don't know about you, but my good friend, partner in power, Pastor Tawana Ross, what's happening?
What's happening? We
You
back at it again.
We're back at it again, right?
Yeah.
You probably don't have all these challenges in life. You just got it like that and going easy, right?
Oh no, 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 no. Oh Lord. We can write a whole encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia, not just a book, but an encyclopedia.
Nah, encyclopedia.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, that's what we want to talk about on Let's Figure It Out, this new podcast that we have. Today, we want to kind of like deal with just talking about search for life's fulfillment, and just the first episode of this part, and just really looking at Solomon. You know, Solomon was the wise king, and so he writes a lot of good information that deals with life.
Right.
And so we just want to kind of dive into that a little bit. I want to use Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 8, where
Eight.
Solomon talks about all things are full of weariness. Man cannot utter it. The eyes is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. And that's what we want to break down, those
Right.
pieces. The day we probably would just get to the first part of that. And so when you look at this text, it brings out for us three things that we have not figured out. And one, as he talks about not being satisfied. So the emptiness of life. We have not
Right.
learned how to put our faith in God and trust in Him. And then the next time we'll probably talk about full of weariness. And
Right.
that's what he talks about, which is the search for meaning. And
Mhm.
many times we're looking in all the wrong
Wrong
places.
places.
And then the third episode in this segment, we'll talk about the other part that he talks about not hearing, which is the search for significant, because we're not listening to God. So we continually are being lost in our lives, and we're not being led by what God has really purposed for us in life.
Right.
So when you really look at Ecclesiastes, one of the most profound, puzzling books of the Hebrew Bible, we explore this deep question of the meaning of life, the purpose of life,
Yeah.
and the fulfillment in life.
Right.
And so, as I alluded to earlier, Solomon, the wise king of Israel, he deals with all of these things, and these challenges of life. And so, as we kick this thing off, your thoughts, many people feel restless and dissatisfied because, number one, they they're not learning how to carry out God's will for their life. I'll say it like
Right.
that. And they may be asking that question, why am I so tired of being unfulfilled?
Right. And that's a big question, is because a lot of times people are looking at everything else and instead of looking at God. It's like they're making God the last resort.
Mm,
So they still feeling the void. That's a good word. Feeling the void because
mm,
it's like the emptiness that they feel is like when it's going good, it's okay. But when it's not going good, you know what I'm saying? It's not okay. So then now they never found their completeness in God because they have substituted God for things. And what their natural eye can see, but that don't have no satisfying power. That's the key word. They're
That's
not
good.
satisfied. So because they're not satisfied, they still hungry and thirsting at the stuff that has no ability to fill them up to make them whole.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Which brings out another question is what is the meaning of life? Do we really understand? Do we really know what the meaning of life is? Because think
And a
about,
lot of times people don't. A lot of times people don't because now you have people that's existing and not living because they don't understand the meaning of life or they don't understand their purpose in life. So when you don't understand all of that, you don't operate in the fulfillment of it. You don't feel full. You don't feel fulfilled because you have these are unanswered questions.
mm,
Until you can answer them and have an assurance of your purpose in life, what life means to you, and not waver in your decision, you still have a sense of emptiness and unfulfillment.
yeah, I like that. Because I think another thing that we have to look at too, as we look at this challenging life that we explore in this world that we live in. And for me, a lot of times, when I look back, I'm not really happy with some of the accomplishments of life, right? Yeah,
Right,
because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that happiness in life,
right,
to be able to say, here are the accomplishments that I made. I don't know how many people can say, really, I can look back and say, yeah, I'm happy with the
right.
accomplishments that I made.
Right. Yeah, and that's so good you said that because we just talked about that last night without defining her class that we had. And that's a key thing. Because it's amazing how you can do so much. It's amazing how a man can applaud you so much, but you're still not happy and you're still not satisfied. Now, how is that even possible when man is putting all these accolades and all these words of affirmation on you, but you yourself is not happy? Can you imagine how many people took their lives in the prime of their career because they still never had a sense of happiness and wholeness?
You make a very good point. A lot of people take their lives
Right.
because of that.
Because of that very key thing. Because of an emptiness, because of an unhappiness that they feel in the midst of a prime. Now, it's amazing, Pastor Jay, that there are people that want their life and they don't even want their own life.
Wow. You said a mouthful right there.
Yeah.
Um, I'm reminded of a story of a young uh, girl that was offered a chocolate egg as a special treat. And with excitement, she unwraps the chocolate egg, enjoying the anticipation. Yet, when she bites into the egg, she discovers it's hollow.
Right.
The initial sweetness is fading away, and what remains is a sense of disappointment and emptiness.
Mm.
So, what that shares is kind of like a metaphor, and it this same thing happens to us in life, because what remains is a sense of disappointment and emptiness.
Emptiness. And also, it wasn't what she expected.
Right, exactly. You're exactly right, because the simple metaphor of this serves as a modern day metaphor for the experience described uh, in our lives, as Solomon talks about in Ecclesiastes, chasing
Mhm.
after things that promises fulfillment only to find them ultimately hollow.
Hollow.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. And that's the thing that it promises something. But the thing about it is, that's what happens when we put our hope in people also. And what happens when those are the same people that disappoint you because they cannot fulfill their promise?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is not what it looked like. And a lot of times we expect things. We got an expectancy for certain things that, and it's and putting our trust in things. That's the key word. Putting our trust in things that does not even have the ability to fulfill those desires for you. But we have trusted man right there instead of trusting God.
Wow.
So a lot of times, all about our emptiness and everything that we feel that don't brings us true satisfaction is because we put it in man. We put it in things that don't have that capability. To and see, God is a God you have not seen, but He exists, but has all the ability and all the power to make us whole. We put our trust in things we can see and have the power to disappoint us.
Yeah. So we're what I hear you saying, we're always feeling like something is missing. So we keep
So
trying to grab hold to something else because we're still looking for that fulfillment.
we still looking, we still, and it does not satisfy. So you get a little money, now you want more money, then you want more money, then you want more money, then you want more money. You're never satisfied. You never says because it's like they say this, you seeking for love in all the wrong places.
My. Yeah, right.
So
Uh,
you searching for stuff in all the wrong person. So now you searching. So now if Charlotte don't do it, you're gonna say, well, the Lord told me to go to Georgia. Then Georgia don't do it. The Lord told me to go to California. Then California don't do. You know what I'm saying? You start. It's like you seeking to never get the fulfillment that you need. So you walking around here existing empty,
yeah. So
not living life to the fullest in which God designed it and created it, because you don't even know what it is to live a fulfilled life. Or, like Rick Warren said, a purpose driven life.
yeah, because you're always thirsty for something.
So
It's like when you drink a glass of water, you still not feel you're still thirsty.
you
It,
still thirsty. You
we
still
we
thirsty. And they used to use that slang word in the streets. They be like, why you acting thirsty?
I know, right? Yeah. My. So that causes us to continue to face a persistent sense of emptiness and this desire that whispers something is missing. Like you said, we say, "Hey, we gonna settle here," but then we discover in our own self that no, that's not. I'm
That's
that's not working. I need something else. I need something more. Or
yes.
we find a job and we say, "No, I don't like that job. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to
I'm
find
going
me something different."
right.
Um,
Then next thing you know, you talking about, I don't like that job. No, I need a career change. I need this. I need that. And now you all over the place. Now you're not consistent. Now you're not stable. So you have no stable. You have no root in the ground. And
yeah,
things. So now you're just moving around, and it's like I said, you have no stability.
yeah. I'm one that I could raise my hand because I've been there. Sometimes when I'm teaching a training session and I will share, some of my experiences and I share, I'm kind of like transparent and just talk about transparent and I talk about, me and some of the jobs that I've had throughout life. And, sometimes people will comment, wow, you've had a lot of jobs.
Right.
No, but, and if, even when God called me into the ministry, I said, this is it. And then at one point in time, I wanted to go and do something different.
Right.
But God wouldn't let me go. He wouldn't release me,
Right.
So here I am, all these years later, still here because of God.
Because of God. And
Because of
that's
God.
and that's the bottom line. It always, something is always going to force you into the face of Jesus. No matter how you run, a circumstance, a situation, and the good news to that, God is the person that never changed. He's the same
Mm,
yesterday, today, and forevermore.
wow.
We are the ones that change. We're the ones that seek it here, 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 only to one day land where we were supposed to be from the beginning, at the feet of Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like you alluded to earlier, if not, then despite all of our achievements, all of our possessions, our relationships, we still find ourselves unsettled, searching for something deeper and more lasting. And this dissatisfaction, it comes from our reluctancy, our inability to place our faith in God and to really dig in and trust Him with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength. And
Right,
therefore, if we do that, that's the only way that we're going to find that success, that achievement, and not be empty in our lives anymore.
right,
How many of us in this world today can really say we're doing that?
right. It's a question to be to really think about. How many can really say that?
Yeah. Because that yearning, it continuously to persist.
Right.
It's always there because we may feel some satisfaction for a little while.
A little, that's the key, for a little while. And then because of that satisfaction, and not to, I had to jump right in there. Because of that satisfaction, that's where you get, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Because that brief satisfaction, you start putting on, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be. But what if that satisfaction that you feel is really not it? It's not where you're supposed to be. It's
Yeah.
just a temporary fix.
And I think another thing is that if I could remember correctly, my mom would say, don't let your eyes fool you because you may see something that you think you want or you think you need, but not really.
Right.
And to give you an example from me, I like cars. I mean, I like cars. Ever since I was like a young adult, I just love cars, and I would get a car, then I would see something else. I said, "Wow, I like that car." And I remember I went over to my uncle, well, really my mom's uncle, I guess my great uncle, and he said, "You got another car?" He said, "You oh worse than a person change. You change no." He said, "You change cars like people change suits
Right.
because always getting something because not that fulfillment and not really understand nothing was wrong with the car." And I was at this conference just last year, and no, early part of this year really. And I was just having a conversation with a pastor, and he was just talking. And I don't know how we got on the subject of cars, but he was telling me. He said, "Man, I've had uh, my car for 21 years." I said,
Oh wow.
21 years, wow.
Ooh,
And
it's a long time.
I said, "How did you keep it so long?" He said, "I just maintained it and kept it up." I'm saying,
Right.
wow, I wish that could have been me, but that's just, I just like cars. So again, it's that yearning for something that we really don't need or something that we really want. Uh,
Right.
Again, and that it all boils down to life.
Right.
And as you said, we have to learn how to trust God and to be led by God, because a lot of times I feel like we put things on God that's not really of God. We say, well, the Lord told me,
Right.
but did he really?
Did he really tell you? Or is just you agreeing with yourself? The piggyback what you just said when you said your mom said, my mom used to tell us, don't let your eyes be bigger than your head.
Oh, yeah, yeah, right.
and and it's true, like you said, we quick to say the Lord told us, the Lord told us, the Lord told us. We just got to be careful. That's why we have to understand. We have to know that we heard from God and make sure we're allowing God to speak to us, and don't allow the volume of the world to be turned up louder than the voice of God.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, now you find yourself agreeing with something that's contrary to your life, because you allow the noise of the world to be much louder than
Mm.
turning down the volume so you can hear God's voice. And sometimes he comes in a still small voice. And it be just that voice that you're really ignoring. And the Lord is telling you, that's the voice I need you to listen to.
Yeah. As we get ready to wrap this episode up, it's like it's easy for us to feel lost and unassured about tomorrow.
Right.
And, we always say nobody knows what tomorrow will bring.
Bring.
That's where it goes back to what you said. It's our trust in God. And we have to
Mm-hmm.
trust him and know that he's going to take care of us. And I understand that the devil is always after us, and he's always trying to pull us in a different direction than God wants us to go.
Right.
But we have to be strong in our relationship with Christ. And Solomon talks about it over in Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 6, where he says, in all your ways,
Please
submit
acknowledge.
to him. And he's
Mm-hmm.
talking about God, and he will make your pathway straight. And what this verse does, it reassures us by offering a promise of clarity. It
Right.
encourages us to place our trust in God's plan for our lives, and suggesting that faith can transform chaos into order. And
Ooh, that's good.
this promise does not eliminate challenges, as I alluded to earlier, but it offers us a mindset that helps us align our path with God's
Sorry.
purpose in our lives, and understanding that this brings peace and a sense of direction even when our lives feels confusing.
Mm-hmm.
What are your closing thoughts?
Ah, I think you just summarized it. I just I think that with this being saying, even with our everyday life, even what's going on in the world, we have to take the fact that we have to trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Just like you said, lean not until our own understanding, and not try to make our understanding the the whole story, but understand that we lean not into our own, but in all thy ways we acknowledge him so he can order our steps, that he can direct our path, that we realize that our faith is locked up in him. If we put our faith in God, we won't have to be so drawn in by the things that we see, but we'll say, God, what are you saying in this situation? Where are you leading me? Am I supposed to be a part of this? Am I supposed to go here? Because there's some things that may look good, but God is saying it's not for you. There's some things that look right, but God is saying, I don't want you to be there. So I feel like with this segment, not with this segment of basically not feeling satisfied. When you're not feeling satisfied, we have to get out of ourselves and say, you know what? No matter what it looked like, no matter what's happening in the world, God, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you through it all. I'm going to depend on you through it all, because I cannot get trapped in my feelings,
Mm.
because my feelings is what will deceive me. But if I hold on to my faith, I realize I got a keeping power that's bigger than my situation. And the songwriter said, oh, to be kept by Jesus.
Mm.
I realized that in spite of my emptiness, feeling unsatisfied, I'm still kept and I'm still covered. And it's my job to stay committed to the King of Kings and to the Lord of Lords.
My partner in power, Tawana Ross, just she just closed it out for us. I mean, can't get no better than that. And I think that just sparks a fire for us to, like you say, we got to learn how to trust him. And we don't we don't know what's going to happen from day to
No,
day,
we
but we
don't.
just trust God with our lives because he
Right.
said he's going to always be there for us, that he would never leave us nor
No
forsake
forsake.
us. Well, family, it's been great to get back
Yes.
together with my good friend, my partner in power, Tawana Ross, myself, Jay Richardson, on Let's Figure It Out. And it's so much to figure out in life. But the main thing is that we have to trust him. And here we are. We want to help you. We want to hear your thoughts. Something you may come up with. Please feel free to recommend us. You can email us at leadership at lead the number 4 insights.net and let us know what your thoughts are. And if you have any recommendation or anything you may want to hear about a topic, let us know and we'll try to fit it in. But until next time, may the Lord bless you real